Welcome to my channel, Worldwise. Am I the only one that didn't know about Johann Ludwig Burckhardt's incredible quest? Johann Ludwig Burckhardt was a brave Swiss explorer. He loved to travel to unknown lands. In the early 1800s, he heard stories of a lost city hidden deep in the Arabian desert. Many thought it was just a legend, but Burckhardt believed it could be real. He decided to find it despite the dangers of the vast and perilous desert. Disguised as an Arab scholar, he traveled safely. He learned Arabic and studied Islamic culture. As Sheikh Ibrahim ibn Abdullah, he blended in perfectly. His journey through the Arabian desert was long and difficult. He faced many dangers, including desert bandits and harsh weather. He traveled with Bedouin guides, learning from their stories. He heard whispers about it in Syria and learned it might be near the tomb of Aaron, the brother of Moses. This clue guided him towards the mountains of Edom, bringing him closer to his hidden goal. In August 1812, Burckhardt was in the region now part of modern-day Jordan. He traveled with a local guide, using the excuse of wanting to sacrifice a goat at the tomb of Aaron on Mount Hor. This mountain was near the rumored location of Petra. Their path led them into a narrow gorge called the Sick. The Sick was very narrow in some places. Sunlight struggled to reach the bottom, creating a mysterious atmosphere. The path twisted and turned, each bend hiding what lay ahead. As they walked deeper, the silence was profound. The natural beauty of the Sick was breathtaking. Burckhardt knew he was approaching something special. Suddenly, the narrow passage opened slightly. A grand facade carved into the rock face, bathed in sunlight. This was Al-Khazneh, also known as the Treasury. The sight was overwhelming, more magnificent than any story had described. Burckhardt had to hide his excitement. He had found the lost city of Petra. Al-Khazneh, or the Treasury, stood before Burckhardt, an incredible piece of architecture. The entire structure was carved from the sandstone cliff, not built with separate stones. The facade was about 40 meters high, intricately decorated with columns, friezes, and statues. The detail was amazing, showing incredible skill and artistry. The style of Al-Khazneh was Hellenistic, influenced by Greek art, with Corinthian capitals on its columns. The Nabataeans, who built Petra, admired Greek culture and blended it with their own traditions. The name Treasury came from local Bedouin legends, believing an Egyptian pharaoh hid his treasure there. Bullet marks can still be seen on the urn at the top, where people shot at it, hoping to release the gold. Most scholars today believe it was a royal tomb, likely built for a Nabataean king, perhaps King Aratus IV. The grand design suggests it was very important, possibly serving as a temple or ceremonial building. Burckhardt's unveiling of Al-Khazneh was a historic moment. He could only stay for a short time and could not explore Petra fully that day. He made his sacrifice at Aaron's tomb and quickly left, but he recorded what he saw. His notes and drawings later amazed the Western world, sparking great interest in Petra. The creators of Petra were the Nabataeans, a remarkable ancient Arab people. Originally nomadic tribes from the Arabian desert, they were skilled herders and traders. Around the 4th century BC, they began to settle in the area around Petra, a strategic location protected by mountains with sources of water. The Nabataeans became rich and powerful through trade, controlling important trade routes across the deserts of Arabia and the Levant. Caravans carrying valuable goods like frankincense, myrrh, spices from India, and silk from China passed through their territory. The Nabataeans taxed these caravans, bringing them great wealth. Their kingdom stretched far, including parts of modern-day Jordan, Syria, Israel, and Saudi Arabia. Petra was their magnificent capital city, a bustling hub of commerce and culture. The Nabataeans were skilled diplomats, managing to maintain their independence for centuries while dealing with powerful neighbors like the Egyptians, Greeks, and Romans. They were also great engineers and artists, carving cities from rock and developing their own script and language based on Aramaic. They worshipped their own gods and goddesses, with Dushara as their main male god. and Al-Uzza as an important goddess. Their culture was a mix of Arab traditions and foreign influences due to their extensive trade connections, leaving behind an amazing legacy. The Nabataeans had a unique building method, carving their grand structures directly into the sandstone cliffs. This technique is known as rock-cut architecture, and Petra is often called the Rose City because of the color of the rock. Al-Khazneh is the most famous example, but there are hundreds of other carved tombs, temples and houses in Petra. The carving process required careful planning and precision, using a top-down method. Workers would carve a narrow staircase up the face of the cliff, reaching the planned height of the structure, then chisel away the rock downwards. This allowed them to create elaborate facades without needing scaffolding, with the rock itself supporting the workers. They used simple tools like iron chisels, picks and hammers, and the relatively soft sandstone made it easier to carve. The scale and detail of their work are astonishing, showing their mastery and confidence. Beyond Al-Khazneh, Petra has other stunning rock-cut monuments like the monastery or Dare, which is even larger than the Treasury. The street of facades and the royal tombs, including the urn tomb and the palace tomb, also showcase the Nabataeans' architectural genius. Petra is located in a dry, arid region where water is a precious resource. The Nabataeans managed to build a thriving city by mastering water management. They created a complex system to capture and store rainwater, building dams to catch flash floods and carving channels into the sides of the cliffs. These channels directed water to where it was needed, and they built hundreds of cisterns, underground reservoirs carved into the rock. These cisterns stored water for use during dry periods, and some were very large. The Nabataeans also used ceramic pipes to transport water, supplying public fountains and private homes. This system ensured that Petra had water all year round, not just for drinking but also for small gardens, making the city more livable. The water infrastructure was essential for Petra's survival and prosperity as a trade hub. The ingenuity of the Nabataean water systems shows their deep understanding of hydraulics and their ability to adapt to a harsh environment, transforming a desert landscape into an oasis. Petra flourished for several centuries as a vibrant center of Nabataean culture and commerce. However, its fortunes began to change due to several factors, including the shift in trade routes. Around the 1st century AD, maritime routes became more popular, bypassing the traditional land routes controlled by the Nabataeans. In 106 AD, the Roman Empire annexed the Nabataean kingdom, and Petra became part of the Roman province of Arabia Petraea. Under Roman rule, Petra initially continued to prosper, but its role as a major independent trade hub diminished. Natural disasters, including a major earthquake in 363 AD, caused severe damage to the city and its vital water systems. Other earthquakes followed, making life in Petra more difficult, and the city struggled to recover fully. By the 7th century AD, after the Arab conquest, Petra was largely abandoned, with only a few nomadic Bedouin tribes remaining in the area. The city's grand monuments were left to the desert, and the knowledge of its location faded from the outside world, becoming a legendary lost city. For over 1,000 years, Petra remained hidden until Burckhardt's rediscovery in 1812 brought it back to the world's attention. Johann Ludwig Burckhardt's rediscovery of Petra in 1812 opened a new chapter for the ancient city. News of this hidden wonder spread across Europe, capturing the imagination of scholars, artists, and travelers. More expeditions followed Burckhardt's path, exploring and documenting Petra's marvels. Today, Petra is one of the world's most famous archaeological sites and a symbol of Jordan's rich history. In 1985, Petra was designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site, recognizing its outstanding universal value. Millions of tourists visit Petra each year, walking through the Sikh and marveling at Al-Khazneh. Petra is also an active site for archaeological research, with scholars continuing to study the Nabataeans in their culture, engineering and art. New discoveries are still being made, and advanced technologies like satellite imagery help to find hidden structures. The legacy of Petra is a testament to the Nabataeans' ingenuity, artistry and resilience, reminding us of the incredible achievements of past civilizations and the enduring power of human creativity. Stay tuned for my next video coming up next.